Ready?
Yep.
Welcome back to Inside YKTR, coming to you live from the... not live, are we? Coming to you from the Body Science Content Studio, and this episode is brought to you by Kelly Partners Ice.
Kelly Partners, best accounting firm in Australia. Danny's always looked after us from day dot. Got us out of a bit of tax trouble very early on. Didn't know what I was doing in business and wasn't paying my taxes, so just went to him for advice and been with him ever since. So he's the GOAT. So if you need accounting, hit them up, Kelly Partners.
Check the description below. There'll be a direct line to Danny and their Kelly Partners #1 accounting firm in Sydney. All right, Inside YKTR. It's been a minute between drinks. It's actually been a minute since it's just been the three of us in here, so it's quite peaceful.
It is.
We have to go early though. It's 7:30.
I'm already starting to get anxiety about the big fella rolling through. But anyway, Ice, you're fresh off a trip away up the coast. Little reset. How was it?
Yeah, good. I used to do them all the time, and it was just kind of, I gave Lukey a bit of time off earlier this year, and he went away and he got his stuff sorted. So I think we're going to build them into our calendars for either as groups or as individuals. You just feel a lot better. You felt better after yours, didn't you?
Yeah, mine was a little weekend into a Monday, Tuesday off. So it was that much late notice. I didn't have time to plan anything. But next time I'll probably reach out and be like, hey, maybe this weekend, a little getaway, maybe to Queensland when borders are up now. Or
You had a bit of time off too, eh, Jacko?
Yeah, mine was enforced time off. It was good. Nice little reset. What makes you take it away?
Just you get out of your bubble. So if you we come here, we do mostly the same stuff, and even though it's a very diverse day, you still get caught in that trap. And then Bondi's a bit of a trap as well, and I'm getting caught up in the social scene. And I want to be there, I want to be out there drinking and having a good time because we've been in lockdown, and it's just part of who I am. So you just get out of your environment and just take a pen and paper and just start writing down shit and new business ideas, new business budgets and models. Get rid of some old ideas and get some new ones in as well. So
where were you exactly? Without giving too much away.
Port Stephens.
Where's that?
It's north of Newcastle. It's about 2.5 hours, so it's really nice.
Nice?
Yeah. I'm trying to think of an equivalent in kind of like when you go up north, kind of when you just got those little hub townships and there's a bit of
on the East Coast.
Yeah, like that. It's kind of like that. So it's cool. It's
perfect
cool.
distance to get away up there, eh?
Yeah, 2.5, 3 hours is perfect. That motorway is quick as fuck.
Yeah, especially that new tunnel to get straight up. It saved heaps of time from this side of the city to get up there.
But I started breaking down everything. So I was like, right, YKTR, she knows, like YKTR sports, and I started just writing down fuck, what do we actually even do? But the sort of big part of that is building the machine. And I remember Gary Vee used to talk about build the machine and then you bring everyone in and we can facilitate a lot of things like that. And a lot of the comments off the back of my drama with Simi is Simi can just leave and go out and be on his own. And I think he could. I've said to him, you'd be great on your own. You wouldn't have to answer to anyone. But then once you're here, you're kind of part of the machine and everything sort of works for you. So we started thinking about we do in-house content, we do in-house photo shoots. Jackson can write, so we've got in-house blogging and a magazine. We can do designs here. We can facilitate all these different things. And when I sort of look at it as a whole, I was like, fuck, we're building something pretty cool here. And we take it for granted because it's in our day-to-day. But once I sort of pulled back out and gone, shit, we're building the right foundation for us to scale and grow.
I think a cool example of that is Jackson, to be able to come in, do his writing stuff and then come in, help Simi's show grow, just plug into what we've got and then elevate himself as well. I think that's Simi's a good example because he's the main character, but also the sub characters Jackson and the other people around the office can do the same.
Yeah, and we're still trying to figure out where everyone's strength is because we're still in that kind of startup phase. We're still a small business. Even though we've got great revenue turnover and shit like that, we're still a very small business. So a lot of people have to wear a lot of hats. So it's kind of step back and fuck, what's Lukey great at? What's Jackson great at? And I think with Simi, we've kind of had to force his hand onto what he does as well because he's really good in content and everyone understands that. So we're all right, let's just focus on Simi as a number two. He's the main character, but then we'll have someone like Jackson that can facilitate that to get the best out of Simi.
I think less is more Simi as well. He was saying something yesterday about doing fucking 4 vlogs a week or some shit, but I was like, bro, at the end of the day, even I get sick of you. Less Simi is you always talk about, Corey says as well, is fuck, when you're away from him and his jokes start to hit after a while. Yeah. Sometimes the reason we doubled down on Geordie as a single podcast a week is because if you know that you're getting him on a Friday and you're getting the best of him, that's what you want. You don't want him half-assed Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then fucking full noise Friday.
Half-assed interview here.
Half-assed interview. It's just exhausting. So.
Yeah.
But that's, I suppose, part of what you're saying. When you say that machine, we're all just plugging in different parts to kind of grow together, yeah.
And then we've just randomly gone into management, looking after talent. So it's fucking random as fuck.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's exciting. like obviously we're growing a little bit. This is going to be a full content studio pretty soon. So I'm excited. We're talking about at coffee. Like we're excited for next year. We've got a cool fucking 6 to 8 weeks coming up as it is. And then rolling into 2022, it's like you can feel that we're starting to grow, and it's up to us if we can execute or not.
If you're also sitting at home and you're worried about you'll struggle to grow or you're starting to grow too much, Manscaped. Jump on. Promo code ICE gets you 20% off and free shipping worldwide. Manscaped.com.au. The amazing Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer. Keep your boys nice and trim. Isaac needs to hit up his face a little bit so he can talk to a hobo. But there you go. Promo code ICE, manscaped.com.au.
It's just good etiquette now, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, you don't want to be
100%.
going in there. It's not the 70s, man.
You can't be whacking down the waistband. Artie Xavier pops out. Yeah, start looking up. And you know what? Guys are hypocrites, man. We want the girls to look like perfect, and we're rocking out with holes in our undies and bush hanging out the top.
Yeah, you got to do your best.
Artie Xavier with the supples. Yeah, use my promo code ICE. Don't use the other boys' one. My one's quicker, and it gets to you quicker. I can't promise that, but
it is, and that's ICE spelled GROUSE. Promo code ICE, manscaped.com.au.
it's a good little Christmas pickup, isn't it?
They are, especially if you get the box with the Manscaped pack and all the other tools. Like we got the shears, which is a little clip behind us there.
Get Chico's foot deodorant too. Get the whole kit and caboodle.
You're after Chico with the foot deodorant jokes lately.
Yeah, well,
You smelled
he needs
something,
it,
have
man. Yeah, that's why he's sitting in the corner. Speaking of staff, you've mentioned down here balance with staff, sort of trying to achieve that. We have a lot of fun. Maybe we need to pull back a little bit. Is that what you're getting at?
No, I want you guys to have fun, but it's just like I said to you when you first got here, like be careful of Sydney's energy because I love Sydney because everyone's trying to make it. There's a lot of people that fucking fake it, so they're fakers. Like when I live in Bondi, bro, so there's dudes that are super super rich and the dudes that think they're rich but they're actually doing nothing. So there's a lot of fake people in around here. But the thing with Sydney, bro, like everyone's trying to make it, but it can actually chew you up and spit you out. So I think we just need to all figure out like what's the balance of like how often do we drink together? Probably more so for me. Like you guys had a mad Friday, but it's just like make sure it doesn't affect everything else that we do. And like I encourage entrepreneurship here. I'm very transparent in terms of numbers and how we do meetings. And if someone successful comes in, hey boys, sit on this meeting so we can all learn and listen. So you start to go, all right, maybe I could do this thing on the side and do this thing off. And then once your effort goes away from what your actual job is, that's when I start to have an issue. Caleb, anyone, like, you know what I mean? So it's just like that balance of like, make sure you rock up and do, because everything that you want to do, you can do underneath YKTR and your growth's going to come through there and all that side hustle stuff. And Bunsen's a big word that we say around here. I think a lot of the boys get distracted by Bunsen's and they forget what their main job is. Yeah. And that was kind of happening with Grouse and a few Reds where you guys were so focused on it because it was going great. And it is one of our better shows underneath YKTR. I'd say has it taken over 10 and again at the moment?
Yeah, definitely. I think just the energy on it is like, there's just a difference in energy. Yeah.
And like I see that, but then we also see like the long tail of that as well. Like, fuck, you boys going out and partying, and then does it affect your work? I think it does sometimes. So that's the balance that we're trying to figure out, and I'm trying to figure out every single day. And I'm talking to Jay. She's like, "Oh, you're probably gonna have to pull yourself away from the boys." When I was like, "Fuck, I just want to drink with the boys and still be that guy." So
I think there's the right way to do it. Like you can lead from the front in that sense. It's like as long as like we come in here, we put our shift in, and we do everything. And like, because there are some times where it's like, oh fuck, we could be doing more. Like Friday, I was sitting here until like 4:30, getting all the content done before even thinking about leaving. But I was literally the only one here for like 3 hours. Like, respectfully, like you'd done all your work on the Thursday. I had to have a big day on the Friday. But as long as like, I feel sometimes not everyone has that same energy. And like, as long as it starts becoming like a blanket thing, like this is what we're going to do, we can all do it.
I read this thing one time and they said, once you figure this out, like for every like great employee, you're going to have like one that's always just going to balance itself out. So when you look at classrooms, if you look at anything that you've gone into life, there's always got to be that balance. You just can't have too much of one thing or else shit just falls over. So I've figured that out, but it's just like I'm just starting to think like maybe Simi's in there 2 days a week and then Scope comes in 2, 3, like it doesn't affect their pay or anything because I think the boys right now, we've got all the boys in all the time, but like what's really getting done? Like
a lot of shit chat.
Like, a lot of shit chat, which is great. Like I love that. I love the environment and all the boys can have fun, but it's like when they leave, like what have we actually done?
Yeah.
Like, you've done an hour's work in about 6 hours time slot.
I think the next year obviously helps having the two. That's a massive thing where we can be like, oh, if you want to just muck around, go downstairs almost pretty much. As long as there's no content down here, I think that helps. That helped me massive. But yeah, I think that's going to be like massive for us next year.
Yeah, and like we noticed it when we duck up upstairs and the amount of work we got done, and even when the
Do it in
boys
like an hour.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And even when you boys are away and it's just me and Lukey, bro, we're smashing out so much work. We'll get into lunchtime. We're like, fuck, let's just go home, man. There's nothing to do. So yeah, that's going to be the really important part. Yeah, that was the main reason I got the other office.
Yeah, balance is obviously key for me because I've never been in an environment which is so much fun, like in terms of work environment. Like my work environments historically have just been fucking lame, and so then you blow out on the weekend with mates outside of work. But we're having fun from 7 a.m. till fucking 4 p.m. and then from 4 p.m. we're sitting in North Bondi. So
yeah, and then you throw in like Bondi, like you got great views and like by people starting to recognise you and Simi as well. Like that's like the balance of like people recognise Lukey and stuff as well, which is great. Like I want all that stuff to happen, but like we've had that through football, so we're just like, oh, this is like kind of.
We were even sort of talking about that on Friday. Like it's still like not uncomfortable. Like obviously we're grateful for it, but like when we're out and about and people come up to us, like it doesn't feel normal to me. Like I don't like it.
And then like Simi's like someone that loves it. So like he leans towards it, but then he'll go, fuck this, I'm getting anxiety. Yeah. So it's this weird little combination between them. So
yeah, I think it's like, for me, I think I've told you this before. It's like whenever someone comes up, it just means I'm doing something right. Like you don't read into it. It's just like that same thing. You can feel up here with it, or you can just be like, yep, cool, I'm doing something right. Let's try and get 5 people to come up to me next time because that means I'm doing it even better.
Yeah. And
that's how I view it.
And what used to happen in football, bro, when people used to come up to us, it was kind of like all the older boys like, oh, you're carrying on and stuff. And it wasn't until I started watching Gary Vee, and he's like, nah, I love people coming up to me because the same thing that you said, it means you're doing something right. Like I was telling the boys this morning, like I went for a walk about 4:30 and the only person I seen was someone that had watched the vlog the night before. Yeah. So stuff like that. So I like we get a bunch of nice messages and we also get a bunch of fucking hate as well. So that very first staff, I might post that very first staff meeting on YKTR page. Remember that one we done there about the universe?
Oh,
and balance? Yeah. That's really important for all of us because if we do grow and we do scale, the only way we're going to do that is having more eyes on us, more attention moves into the funnel and people buy more clothes. So I just want to set like a really solid foundation for all of us now because if we do get bigger, like that's when shit starts to get messy.
And that's what we always like come back to. Like last week going out doing content with Gutho, like when we had coffee the other week and I was like, is this sweet? Like this is what we want to do, and you're like, yeah, like don't
that's
read
what I
into
want.
anything more.
Yeah,
like it's just about attention and eyeballs. Going to Tim Zoo yesterday, that's like different content for us. We're not in the office, like we just need to keep doing little things like that to build the show life because that's turning into like our like keeping up with the Kardashian style. Like you know, everyone's tuning in and wanting to see what we're up to. So
we just really need to figure out this. I don't think sound's an issue, but everyone seems to bring up the sound. And spelling, obviously, Caleb. Caleb left school at 15, so...
Get a break, man.
Third day.
I think, I think we just need to figure out like that little workflow bit because it's the Friday to Sunday gap where we just got to... If I was able to help Caleb a little bit more in that space, I think then that part of the vlog would be polished. So
basically, Caleb goes missing on a Friday. Like you can't get in touch with him.
Nah.
And then...
He's at the Fiddler, isn't he?
He was.
Getting a bit done too, Caleb.
Yeah, he is. Getting plenty done. Isaac mentioned that staff meeting. I just want to let you know, again, the Doozy Club is in the description below. They've already had access to all that stuff. That's where we upload our staff meetings and that. So if you are keen to get around that sort of content, jump in, Doozy Club description below. Chat with Cheese. You've got down here, 30 minutes of the best, huh? Driving up north. How's the cheese stuff going?
Yeah, good. Fuck, it's just interesting, eh? Like, it's like as close as I am with everyone here, like I'm close with these other boys like TJ Perrinar, Kenny Bromwich, because we're into the same shit. Like we're deep into the same shit, and Cheese is one of those guys as well. So the reason why we kind of signed him was because he was interested in the stuff that I was like kind of interested in. So I'm a little bit biased towards him. And then bro, we're just sort of bouncing ideas, like talking about NFT stuff. So he's basically got a crypto, like he's doubled his money already. Like his Ethereum's gone up by a lot over the past 3-4 weeks, and then he's doubled his money through deals as well. So we kind of offered him like a Manscaped deal, and it kind of wasn't enough for him because he's getting these other deals off the back of the deal that we done. So he's got this cryptocurrency place that's going to pay him like a decent wicket to do stuff and promote for it. Sick. And we help facilitate that as well. So bro, and then he's on the phone like excited, bro. He's like, "Fuck, this is mad! Like I can just see it already. Like it's all starting to," and it's just interesting to do that. And then he's telling me about all the different meetings he's going through, like what it's like sitting in front of Wayne Bennett and all that sort of stuff as well.
Playing the pokers at Redcliffe.
Playing the pokers, yeah, and all that sort of stuff. I was like, oh, do you like try and sit there? He goes, nah, it's just what I say. And it's like,
Wayne just happened to be at the pokies, I think. Yeah. That's just how it worked out, yeah.
Nah, he wasn't at that meeting. So, nah, that was just the club sort of talking about what the Redcliffe do and stuff like that. So, yeah, he's kind of given me not an inside word, but what he's sort of leaning towards, which is obviously I'm not going to say,
yeah, with a big dick fucking statement. He's like, "Oh, we got him. Yeah, we got him."
Yeah, obviously, like I'm not going to put his personal business out there, but it's just interesting to hear that other side of it as well. So he's in Sydney pretty soon. We'll definitely do some content. He's keen to jump on.
Can't wait for that.
But yeah, it was just cool to sort of. I think he's gonna lead the way. Obviously, those 257 boys could do it with a bit more structure behind them, but I think he's going to lead the way, and the way most players are going to do it pretty. Oh, Mark Nichols inboxed me last night too.
Oh, yes. That's the guy.
I think I talked about him with Roasty. Yeah, and then he inboxed me. So
with Guru, I think.
Oh, with Guru, sorry, yeah. So I was like, yeah, shit, better. He doesn't know anything about the space, but I was like, oh, that's just an interesting. Yeah.
I'm and probably Lukey's in the same vein too. I'm obviously as excited as you are for all that stuff, but I'm just excited for the content stuff too. Like once we get him around him, we can get the camera on him, we can get the podcast mic in front of him, we can start doing cool shit. That's what I'm looking forward to. Yeah,
it's just that giving people access to athletes like they haven't before. Like you're hearing Cheese talk, how Cheese wants to talk. Like it is the future. Like you hear all the American sports that we love. It's all the direct access to the athletes.
You know how Odell does content? Like that's what I want us to do for Cheese without the biggie acting. You know what I mean?
Because initially I wanted to do that stuff with Corey like a couple of years ago, and I told you boys about this. Like, oh, bro, I'll just film you all the time, bro. We can build a fucking mad brand, and I'll get you brand deals. And like, I was just thinking of it then, but Corey's just cruisy, bro. Like, that sort of shit. So it was just refreshing to have someone like Cheese buy in, bro, and like ask 1,000 questions. Oh, bro, what can we do here? This is what we want to do. Yeah. Bro, it was mad. And like he got off the Twitter, he's like, fuck, that was the maddest chat. So it was just refreshing, bro, to be honest. Not having to force stuff on people, you know what I mean? Just someone that's asking a fuckload of questions and keen to get amongst it. So bro, I think we got the perfect guy for us.
Helps that on the field he's probably the biggest name in footy at the moment too, especially with regards to the whole free agent market. So there's buzz around him outside of us, which obviously helps. Yeah,
he's the guy. And obviously you guys know the next couple guys that we potentially could bring on. Like I just picture, the way I see it, bro, I just picture this photo of like a group shot of us. I can't wait till it's on Instagram and we're all just standing there decked out in YKTR.
And you can do the Gary V split screen where it goes like November 2021 and you're saying this and then cuts across. Look at us all standing there.
Yeah. So obviously it all, like we got to focus on Cheese and get him deals and stuff like that. And then I think we'll be turning cunts away.
Yeah. Well, I'm hopefully when you do post that photo that Simi and I are part of that because it was suspension season last week. We weren't in here. I'd like to get both of your takes on this, but we'll start with you. Sort of walk me through the decision to stand us down and then the days that sort of afterwards.
I feel like there was a couple things leading up to that. Like obviously both of you guys were in my office and I've gone like verbal warnings. I've shouted. I've tried to put my arm around you guys and go, fuck, come on guys, I need you to be better. It was just kind of just a line in the sand moment. And it wasn't just for you, it was for everyone in the office. And from the outside looking in, like it looks like an over-exaggeration. And
people didn't see us chat on Monday. They didn't see us chat on Wednesday when you said, hey, make sure you boys, steer clear of each other outside of work, not so much. Like you said that on the Wednesday. Yeah.
Oh, it's not so much, it's just like I said earlier, bro, I feel like it was just affecting everyone else's work. And so like from the outside looking in and I went, obviously I go to my main people, like Anthony's a big guy I go to, Danny, Jade are people that I go for mentoring and they all said like, you've done the right thing. So that gave me bit of validation of what I'd done, but it was just kind of like, bro, I just kind of had enough. So I just kind of want to make it just, and it sort of shocked everyone through the office as well. So as much as fun as we have here, we still want to execute and work. And I didn't feel like you guys were doing that. And obviously there's a bit more that didn't get post. Oh, what's that?
Chico.
Obviously there's a few things that didn't get leaked out through our content, which sort of
how it should be.
Well, it painted a bit of a negative narrative. You got the old roomies coming after me like that's ridiculous. Blah, blah. I had people messaging me like, bro, he's fucking out of line. I'm like, trust me, there's more.
The only reason that's in content as well is because it's been signed off up top as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's not like people sometimes forget the comedic side of what you guys do.
Yeah.
That's what makes it what it is.
Like shows like outside YKTR, like I sanction those shows and I'm pushing the button. So
yeah. People are like, oh, look, they're bagging ice again. He's like, bro, he's behind the camera.
just cutting it up. So, like, obviously, like, from the front end, we look like mad, like, fuckery, like, idiots that don't know what they're doing. But there's actually strategy and shit behind it as well. So, yeah, all that sort of stuff's cool. Oh, sort of one thing we're going to try and move YKTR to be fully sustainable over the next
Oh, yeah.
18 months to 2 years, which is something I'm pretty excited about. So as we start to grow, only reason we can't do it now is because we just can't afford it. Would have to absorb the costs. Therefore, basically we have to sell more clothes, so we get economies of scale, which means we can make stuff for cheaper. Then we can absorb the costs that we don't have to pass on to people. So that week in a way, I was sort of focusing on what we can do now and what we can do in 18 months. So. Like I said, bro, you look at us from front on, like from content on your phone, we're fucking around, talking shit, drinking piss, but behind there's a lot of thought and strategy going into a lot of things that we're doing. So, and I just want to build a sustainable brand because it's just the right thing to do. I think it's something that everyone will do soon. But yeah, so it's going to be cool.
Suspension through sustainable brand. I don't know where I'm throwing you on this one, but carry on. What did you make of, obviously, Simi and I getting stand down that line in the sand, and then as the business sort of moves towards sustainability, we'll pick it back up there.
Yeah, I don't know. Like we spoke on the Saturday morning straight after, and you knew pretty much. I don't think there's much more to say on that. Like I think you were a byproduct of it, to be honest. But
Wait, they both said this on. Like I had a phone call for them Saturday morning, and like Simi said, "Oh fuck, this wasn't Jackson's fault. It was my fault." And I go, "Jackson, how old are you?" And he goes, 28. I go, fucking old
but
enough
you
to know
knew that you were the byproduct of it. That was the difference. So, but it's like. I think, it's just good to get that out of the way because like my biggest thing's always been, I did say on Monday, I could feel it coming. So I was like, I put in the group chat, I was like, I feel like this is feeling like Footy Companion cancel vibes. So I just put it out there. But I think it's just like, as long as there's a team, we all know like what we can and can't do in that situation because it's like I said on the podcast and whatnot, like there's cunts that have come a long way just to be a part of what we do. So I think they deserve our undivided attention in those times.
We had our first meeting about Doozy Club a year ago, you know what I mean? And it's taken us a year to get to a point where we can actually do something for these people that supported us, you know what I mean? I've looked at some of the person that's purchased the most off us has bought 58 times from us.
That's fucked.
Yeah, you know, so you talk about lifetime value, and we gave them experience, and I still got messages about that was the best night, and it was 2 hours. That's all we needed. So
1.5 for me and Simi.
And like wow, I was just also invested into that and everyone having a good time. So it was just kind of frustrating more than anything.
Yeah, because that
was Simi's event. Like he's meant to organise.
Yeah, brand manager. But like I know he's watching. Hey Simi, like they're the people. They're the only reason that I'm here. That's the only reason like anyone is here. That's the only reason you're in the position that you can do the stuff because of people like that support the brand, watch the content, buy the clothes, dab us up when we're out. Like we're just you got to sometimes take a step back to realize that. And in the moment, it's probably chaotic, and it's like I just want to dip. But then it's like if we remember, like I think we didn't put on here, but we did the values lesson the other day. Like even like I was like Caleb and I, we weren't having beef on Friday or whatever it was, but we were just like we were having like an editing battle between us on WhatsApp. And then I was like, look, bro, sorry, I didn't mean to snap. I just meant. And I just sent the photo on my desk of the thing, and I was like, "That's where I'm coming from." I go, "It's not you personally." I go, "It's just this. Like, we should all always fall back on this." So,
and it's funny that like I'd done that meeting about our core values, and then literally like, and the good thing about that is it's recorded and it's up there in front of your desk. Like I'm just like, yeah, it's like locker room guys is our first thing.
Yeah,
like, you got to be putting the team first before yourself, and you put yourself before the team, and it's like number one, be a locker room guy. So.
Yeah. So I think like the more, because that's only, it's like a pretty, like for me, like I've come from a business that had values like that. Like we had like our people and culture and all of those things that we would almost get like not KPI measured on, but it was like part of our review was like, how have you contributed to this?
Yeah,
like
100%.
That's a big part of it. So I think sometimes like I default back into that mode in those situations.
And everyone's got their own strengths and weaknesses. You've come from a corporate background, like you've come from like a uni into a big fucking corporation as well. So you guys can understand working with a lot of people as well, where probably Chico and Scope's strengths and my strengths come from football, where we can take feedback direct to the throat and move on pretty quickly and like get on and separate like fucking around and working. Yeah. So that's the difference between us as well. So everyone's got their own strengths that they can contribute to. So it's just like we'll constantly like searching for balance isn't linear. There's not a start and a finish. And some weeks we're going to be like this and some other weeks we're going to be like that. And I understand that from a micro standpoint, but as a macro, there's those core values there for a reason. And the thing with that is like, if you're not buying into the core values, you're probably not going to fit into the team. If you don't fit into the team, you're not going to fit into our future. And that's what those are there for. So I'm glad I've done that at the right time, because a lot of the times it's just, you should know better.
Yeah, but now it's like
it's on
there.
paper. It's right in front of you. You see it every day. So
I was sort of half expecting like the sort of slap on the wrist, and then when you called me, like I knew that I had fucked up, and I knew what we like. I was like you said, I was straight away aware of what we'd done was wrong, and I was like, what?
Gave the office the clean of doom as well.
Yeah, that's just what I do when I panic, and I was like, I knew it was coming, but then when you hit me with that, I was like. It was like, I mean, you saw, like, I was upset. I was like, what the fuck am I doing? And I know everyone blames me and they said, oh, you got sucked into it. But like you said, like I'm a grown man. I can make my own fucking decisions. So it was more just like, I felt like I disrespected you. I disrespected Luke's time, Jordan's time, Chico's time, Sco's time. And I was like, what a fucking loser. So
and kind of to do that was like to realize that, like, and it sounds kind of harsh saying this now, but like YKTR was like, good before you guys got it, and it'd be. I think would go on if you guys. Left
we weren't
well.
here for we weren't here for 3 days, and
it just flowed. Yeah.
So I mean, it was a realization for us. Like, well,
and
for
I
me,
think it's more so like sitting on your hands, bro. Like when you got nothing to do, and I'm like, oh, Jackson, give me all your workload because I'll take over it. Those are just kind of like little things that I knew would hurt you more than probably a written warning.
Yeah.
But there's also like Simi as well, like YKT was perfectly fine without you here. Like, I'm glad you're here and I want you here and the content's cool, but if you move on, like, I think we're going to be okay. So it's just kind of one of those types of moments.
Yeah. All right. That is Inside YKTR for another week.
No, it's not, because next week we have a very special day on Friday.
Oh, Black Friday.
Oh, fuck. Sorry, bro. Yeah. If you don't write it on my notes, how am I going to remember?
I put it in the next message.
Oh, sorry, bro. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're doing something for Black Friday. So we're going to drop Thursday. But it's something that we've never done. We've done mystery boxes before. I'm just going to give that away. But we're going to start doing all the marketing and content for this as well. And we're kind of going all in. We've been planning it for 6 months. It's cool. It's unique. I don't see any other brands doing it. So I'm pretty excited about it. But the marketing's got to be really spot on for it to nail.
Yeah, it's exciting. Like, I don't know, when you sent it through probably like 6-8 months ago, I did the box?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we got a special box and it's going to be.
Got a special box, tape, layers on top of it. All the clothes are in it. Pretty cool. So it's not like what we've done ones in the past. It's just a little bit different.
Yeah.
So it's pretty exciting. I don't want to give too much away.
Yeah, I was trying to chime in, but I'm like, I don't want to give too much away. Yeah.
But it's a mystery and it's next Friday and you're fucking pumped for it.
Yeah. And like a lot of people dive into Black Friday super early because they get scared. We'll
wait, man.
We'll go the Wednesday, a couple of days before, but we are rolling to a sale on the Friday as well. So
yeah. I think that's the main part. It's like
save some cash.
It's a cool way to do Black Friday.
It's different. Have you seen anyone do it like this?
Not from off the top of my head, no.
No. A lot of people drop collections now because they don't want to lose margin and stuff, but not like this. This is going to be cool. So
we won't be going with my box designer.
Yeah, we try to do some cool content and
the old arts and crafts.
Mad effort, but it just like looks.
It wasn't quite it.
Nah, it wasn't quite it. But anyway, we learn. We learn, man. All right, that is Inside YKTR. Remember, manscaped.com.au, promo code ICE. Get yourself sorted, man.